DJ, you go crazy.
DJUTV, let them know who we got in the building.
We got Craig C.R. Hardaway.
Derek Dog Hardaway.
We got Craig, we got Derek Hardaway. What y'all on, gang?
Just chilling, seeing what the fuck you want. Having a frank conversation. You know what I mean?
Man, this a worldwide exclusive, not just a Chicago exclusive. You know what I'm saying? So I want to let y'all know before we even get to the 60-second mark how grateful I am that y'all sitting on my couch. You know what I mean?
Grateful for you having us. You know what I mean,
Very.
Very.
So the love is reciprocated.
All the time.
For sure that. So for the people that's just clicking on this video and they like, man, who is these guys on the couch? You know, these some faces we ain't never seen before. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to tell them this is one of the crazy stories, you know, we done heard about from Chicago, Illinois. You know what I mean? And y'all here to tell us about it. Feel me?
All the time. So back in 1994, September 1st, unfortunately, we got arrested for the murder of Robert Yummy Sandifer, a.k.a. Lil Yummy. At the time, juvenile crime was being perpetuated as growing in nature. They were labeling juvenile super predators, and the case that they locked us up for went global. Made Time magazine, led, unfortunately, for years with why they should reform juvenile justice as it pertains to penalties, not at what it pertains to as reform. Even though at the time the numbers that they known were declining. But that's another story.
So let's take it from the top, though. Tell us exactly, you know, which side of Chicago are you two from?
South side. 100s. Double O's.
Wow. Y'all know we got to represent.
Wild Hunters.
Definitely.
All the time. Wild Hunters.
Wow. Don't forget the second wild.
Yeah. Significant.
Word. So tell us what it's like growing up in the Wild Hunters. What decade is we looking upon?
Growing up, the 80s.
In the 80s? Okay.
Yeah.
Growing up in the 80s in the Wild Hunters, south side of Chicago. What was it like?
Man, it was dope as like, man, it was epic to me. Okay. It was a lot of love, you know what I mean? Structure. You know what I mean? We live like, as kids, we did a lot of things grown folks still not doing as kids. Maybe it was before our time, but it was dope as fuck growing up in the 80s and early 90s.
Word.
Yeah.
So, for me, when I look back and reflect, right, we've been on the porch a long time. You know what I mean? For y'all who don't know us, y'all know just from reading, we both Black disciples.
Okay.
But the era that we grew up in, it didn't matter like what you represented. You was still able, if you was a real nigga, you was still able to go on any block with any nigga, you know what I mean? So, like, wasn't no masses then, wasn't no Cobra shit, wasn't no whole shit, you know what I mean? So, the foes we fuck with, the Stones we fuck with, we went to school with, you know what I mean? The MCs we fuck with. Every block, one know you couldn't come over here if you was one of them niggas, you know what I mean? So, like, I still remember being like on 107 Champagne. I still remember hanging out with Andre, that's the midget. That's the motherfucker they talk about a Twister song. You know what I mean, man? I'm on 107 Champagne, keeping the Rizzo, you know what I mean? I still remember them days, like, we rode bikes, we walked, we transcended, we knew everybody, you know what I mean? And everybody knew us. So when I compare and contrast, like, the world that I came home to It's like something totally different. Like, I feel bad for the kids today because they'll never share that experience. They'll never know what it means to go outside 2 or 4 block radius from their neighborhood. They'll never know people that stay like 5 blocks away, a mile away. That wasn't our upbringing. We knew everybody and everybody knew us.
It was everywhere.
You know what I mean? And that just wasn't, you know what I mean, something that pertained only to us. That was for everybody.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So it's one thing I want to touch on that you just mentioned. It's Black Disciple.
All the time.
You know, BD. That's what it's
Yeah.
short for. Here in Chicago, the BDs have a strong presence. The BDs have a strong presence in the rap game as far as Chicago is concerned.
But I remember when we didn't. I remember when we was far and wide. I remember a time when you might have 5 guys on one block, 7 guys on this block, 9 guys on this block. You know what I mean? I remember a time when you had to know who was where all over the city, bro. I remember a time when we wasn't large at numbers. I remember a time when less was best. I remember a time when the only thing we was known for was getting money. We weren't known for that rap shit, none of that other shit. Get money and goddamn it, you know what I mean, man, drilling. That's all the we was known for.
Right.
I remember that time. Do I want to go back to that time? Hell no. I'm glad at what we've been able to accomplish since that time. But I still remember that time, the time when it was T's and Blues, the time when it was Hirachi before the crack came in. You know what I mean? Them times we don't talk about right now. But them was the best of times for me. I can't speak for nobody else.
What about yourself?
You said enough.
What made you all join the Black Disciples? And how old were you when you did it?
I'm gonna let you take that one. Cause he was BD before me.
But you the oldest, right?
All the time.
Just a couple years.
18 months exactly.
Right. Okay, year and a half.
It.
Minus a day.
Right.
Cause this shit on the 16th, mine on the 15th.
Okay, year and a half.
He older brother, I'm big brother.
Right.
Don't agree, but go ahead.
Craig and Derek.
All
Craig
the
and
time.
Day-Day. You Day-Day today.
Nah, hell no.
Hell no, that nigga he ain't never been dated. Don't disrespect folks like that. You know what I mean? Movie
They can't
appetite.
fight.
Movie appetite. That nigga be that never like South Central or some shit. You know, he ain't that.
Man, what made me join? I mean, it was like the house we lived in, look, right down the block where we did our shit on. And it was like, no bullshit, it was just the shine. Money. That's what I saw, like, these dudes down here getting some money. And I want it. And I watched how they moved, and it was just love.
Yeah.
And I was all in.
Right.
So for me, like, I got an uncle named Rock, may he rest in peace. They killed folks in Pontiac, the police. You know what I mean? They hung him and say he hung himself. I don't know no nigga that could climb up to a 12 feet motherfucking got pipe in the motherfucking segregation cell, you know what I mean, and string yourself up. But that's another story. But I used to be with my Uncle Rock every day. I idolized the fuck out my uncle. He was GD, by the way. You know what I mean? So at that time, I was going by Crazy C. Shorty C, Crazy C. Whatever my uncle did, I wanted to do. I wanted to outdo that nigga at whatever the fuck he did. You know what I mean? He had me by like 12 years. So running with him, I hung out with a lot of GDs. So you know what they say, birds of a feather flock together. You know what I mean? Watching my younger brother, when he became BD from the hundreds, and I didn't come BD from the hundreds, I came BD from 82nd to Drexel, the Deuce. They call that shit brain dead. Now, ideology, I don't understand, concept, I never be able to follow. That's not here or there though. But watching him and the way that they move and the guys that they move with, you know what I mean, man? I wanted that bad. Always been good at math. With my uncle, always been a great chef. Great chef for those who know what the fuck that means. We ain't finna define that shit. But at the time, you know what I mean? Less was best. Them niggas was getting the bag. I wanted it. Had the blueprint, got to get it in. That's what led me to it. You know what I mean? Nothing other than the money. Right. I wanted the money. I wanted to be a street king, man, at 12.
Damn, 12 years old?
I wanted to be a street king. Mm. And we chased that motherfucker, and we got it. Period.
12 years old, what grade was you in? 5th, 6th?
6th grade, getting ready to go into the 7th grade.
Yeah.
With a knowledge of crack cocaine, teas and blues, Hirachi, you name it. Everything that was popping then. This was before like Kush. This was before Dro. This was before Za. This back in the Reggie motherfucking days. You know what I mean, man? Mm. And at the time, Reggie wasn't getting nigga shit. What was getting nigga paid, man, was raw and coke. Mm-hmm. And that's how we come up. That's what we was taught. That's what we bought. That's what we flipped. Man had another nigga, won't name his motherfucking name. One of the guys, a chemist, went to school for motherfucking chemistry. Taught us the blow-up game. The rest was history. Mm.
How crazy though was that crack cocaine epidemic when you all were coming up in Chicago? Because we hear about it a lot on the East Coast, New York and Baltimore, but you know, we haven't really heard about how strong it hit the hoods of Chicago.
At the time we was selling that shit, we weren't paying attention to like how it affected, you know what I mean, the individual that was using it, sure, the family, or none of that shit. The only effect to us at the time was what the fuck it put in my motherfucking pocket. Right. What the fuck it allowed me to buy. What the fuck it allowed me to goddamn go outside and do. That was the only effect we paid attention to. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? In hindsight, man, we fucked up a whole lot of goddamn families. Mm. But at the time of its initial concept, you know what I mean, man? Looking back, you had like the freeway and them doing freebays. You know what I mean, man? What we call crack cocaine today, my bad.
It hit hard. And it's like, I recognized it when a person that I look still to this day to as a mother figure.
A mother.
Asked me for it.
Okay.
And it's like, the fuck?
So an older woman.
Yeah, like right. One of my friends, you know what I mean, mother, asked me for it. So when I'm saying like, these my guys, you see what I'm saying, and they family members asked me for this shit. So it's like, that shit, it hit hard, man. It really hit hard. Like, you seeing the money on one side of it, but then once you seeing this shit like, your loved ones with it, it's like, man, nah, like,
yeah.
But then again, it's, everybody got their own choice of drugs.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
And y'all brothers.
All the time.
Like, same mother, same father.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I could tell just off y'all energy how y'all balance each other out already. You know what I'm saying? He said, hold on. It did hit hard, you know? But like, with your point, including with his, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it was about that cheddar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So while we have a whole lot of similar shared experiences. We have a whole lot of separate experiences.
Word.
You know what I mean? So, like, when I was coming up, I went into authority young. I transcended the city young. You know what I mean? I hung out with motherfuckers that was at least a decade or older than me. You know what I mean? So with that said, we had different experiences.
Sure.
I know the experience that he talking about. I know the person whom he talking about, he one of the members. You know what I mean? And I know his moms. But I was so far gone into this shit at the time, what she was asking for didn't affect me. I had way before that became numb to it. Never acted upon it. You know what I mean? She was short. You know how the fuck's come to you when your neck short. What can I do for you, bitch? Shit. Have the bread. Ain't shit you can do for me other than the bread. You know what I mean? So I get the vantage point that he coming from, but during that specific time, she came to me plenty of times during that time. Have the money in or wait till your check come. That other shit, I'm cool on.
Yeah.
And for those that's members that know what I'm talking about, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not finna say anything that a motherfucker watching this and goddamn it piggyback and say, oh, that's folks. That's folks' mama. We don't do that shit.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, I get where he coming from.
Mm-hmm. So it was a lot of money that was being made, but there was also a lot of destruction being made in our community at the same time.
All the time, absolutely.
You know, I mean, you all were young, hadn't even made it to high school yet. So I know you mentioned, you know, being influenced by your uncle, you know, your Uncle Rock, you know.
All the time.
But tell us, you know, just like the environment, you know, on the south side of Chicago, we getting money, we young. So are you all actually going to school at this time?
Still going to school. My mom and daddy ain't play that shit, boy.
Okay.
I had a daddy that was for the best word, a totalitarian.
Okay.
You can fuck up today. You can fuck up next month. You can fuck up the month after that. The month after that. Won't shit happen. You could come in 5 months later and that nigga kick your ass for some shit last year.
Yeah. You thought you forgot.
You be like, man, what the f***? Nigga, I've been good the last month. I went to school that goddamn day. Got A's and everything.
I thought I got shot. I ain't
you
doing
wouldn't
shit.
even know that shit was coming.
I walked past his room and I just felt pain and I just stepped up like, what the f just happened? I'm waiting to feel my shirt get wet. Like, I just got shot.
You said he
like,
shot
for
you?
real. No, that's what it felt like. So it's like, I'm stuck, bro. I couldn't move. All my muscles locked on me. I'm stiff. And it's like, I'm waiting to feel my shirt get wet, you know what I mean? And turn around and see what the fuck just happened. And all my muscles relaxed. I collapsed and here go my old man. That hit me somewhere in here, bro. It's like, I ain't bullshit. That shit hurt. But
so was your father gang affiliated?
My old man used to be an L rookie.
Okay.
Old Blackstone Ranger.
Okay.
But growing up, never knew it.
Okay.
My old man had a PhD in computer sciences. You know what I mean? But growing up, never knew it. Growing up, all what I knew was, I'm Craig Charles Richard Hardaway Jr. I'm named after my daddy. My daddy work on computers, do computer programming, and we sport. That's all the fuck I know.
And are there any other siblings besides you two?
So, my dad and my mom had 3 kids together.
Okay.
Me, Snoop, which is the baby, and got our older sister Catrice.
Okay.
She 50.
Okay.
He had 2 children out of wedlock, India and Tanika. Both are older than both of us. One, not gonna say which, got me by like 40 days. Papa was rolling
That
stone.
nigga got kids, man. I ain't bullshit.
Now,
Fuck with these
them the fact
He
that
used
we
to take me
know
somewhere
about.
over here to play with some little
That's
girl I ain't like, whatever.
official.
But my old man was a Rolling Stone, man. I'm gonna just call it what it is. And
Right,
to this day, I'm waiting for people to come say, like, we your brother and sister. And I won't deny that shit.
Right.
Now, what he don't know, we done did that, what's that, 23andMe shit? We done goddamn it found a few other mothers that share like our DNA.
Man, I used to look in the phone book. There wasn't no other Hardaways but us. And now on Facebook, it's a whole lot of them in Chicago and around this area. And they look like, and you friends with all of them. I ain't friends with none of y'all, none personally.
Y'all look like
I
Penny
just don't
Hardaway.
know.
That's some of y'all relation?
Shit, ain't no fucking tell. You talk about Penny, what about Tim? That nigga goddamn went the fucking cone.
You do look like Tim. You look like Tim, you like Penny.
We went to the
You
same
know what I
school.
mean? Straight up. And we see that nigga daddy all the time in the area. And we stay goddamn not even 4 blocks away from each other.
Pretty much.
So that's a whole nother. So you know how that shit go.
Yeah.
You know all your mama goddamn relatives, your daddy relatives. You might know 1 or 2 or 3, they kids, but not the rest. Whole nother story.
For sure. So tell us around the time that you all met Yummy.
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna have me a sip shit.
Nah, I met Yummy probably early 93.
Okay.
And he looked young as hell, like a kid, but at the same time, there was a few other members that was in high school that's looking the same age. That was Lil Son. That's like going to high school. I'm in grammar school. So when he told me he was 16, it's like, well, shit, at the time, I believed. I really ain't know his real age until his death.
Okay, so when y'all met him, y'all was under the impression he was older than what he was.
Don't
That's
say
what he
y'all.
told me.
I'm sorry.
I'm saying what he said to me.
Right.
So when I'm saying there's a couple other members that's young and in high school, and then I got a sister that's, how old was Catrice then? 21?
What, 93?
20?
In 93, she
Anyway.
was born in 73, 2020, going on, yeah, about 21.
Our older sister Catrice, she still looked like a fucking kid. You see what I'm saying? So back then, even when she was 21 driving, I had been in the car with the police pulling us over, and I'm 21, and had to literally show her driver's license because this how young she looked. So when I met him, he told me he was 16. Huh?
Remember we used to make her go by lake and she drove her driver's license and it was blue?
So I believed it, you know what I mean? But that was when I first met him. Like,
Right.
he looked young, but when he told me he was 16, well, he is, so why not?
And he was already one of the members, you said,
Yeah,
at that time.
So
absolutely.
when I first met Yummy, I met Yummy on 108th Street. At the time, for the hundreds, that was like one of the headquarters.
Okay.
I didn't really get to know Yummy until, I don't even remember what the shorty was in the Audi home for. I was fighting an attempt murder. I don't even know what the he was in there for. I was on 5G. Shorty was on 4J. I remember him going to court, because we had both went to court on the same date. I remember when we got bussed back to the Audi home, he was saying that they had basically dropped his charges, but he had to go to placement. Placement during that time in the juvenile justice system was sort of like being placed in DCFS, but they sent you outside the state. My charges was dropped because the witness and the victim refused to come to court. Not gonna say what my charges were. And I remember him like, man, fo, I ain't going to that shit. And I remember me telling him like, man, shorty, consider it. That shit, fo. All right, baby. And that was that. Shortly after that, the next day, I'm released. He supposed to go to placement. My mama and my goddamn baby mama come get me. We riding down Roosevelt, finna hit Jewtown. Shorty bailed out to come on them people. We at Roosevelt and fucking hosted. I'm telling my mama like, man, hey, make it right and I'm finna go get me some motherfucking Jordans. Then you can take me back to the hundreds. As we get ready to make the right at Roosevelt and hosted, I see Shorty. I thought you was going to placement. So let me ride with y'all at Bell Inn. Get my Jordans and we shoot back to the hundreds. That was like the first time like I really kicked it with Shorty. Cause again, the shit I was into at that time, this is 94, summer 94. We was like on two different wavelengths.
I mean, like you was getting money and he was like coming up?
No, not so much as that I was involved in a way other shit. I was in the authority at the time. He wasn't. I moved across the city. He didn't. He was confined like strictly to the hundreds, and I wasn't. Right. So even though I repped the Wild, that's where I'm from. That's where I grew up. That's where I was born and raised. When I started flagging this shit, I came home from 82nd and Drexel from the Deuce. The Deuce. That's where I came BD from. Right. I didn't come to the hundreds until it was a need for me to be in the hundreds. Because again, early, like I told you, you know what I mean, man. At the time when I came BD, we didn't have sets like the GDs had. We didn't have areas like the GDs had. That's some shit that grew out of necessity years later when I was already in the penitentiary. You know what I mean, man? I remember like in the hundreds, 100th Street, you had 9 BDs. I remember 105th when there wasn't no BDs. We started the BDs on 105th. I remember 100 in May. You know what I mean, man? When them niggas was breeds. When them wasn't number breeds, GDs in the hundreds. Yeah. You know what I mean, man? The Buff, what niggas call a Buff now, after Buff got killed, I remember 119 when Buff, who come from Inglewood, wasn't even a minister out there. Because my little brother, Corey, stayed on 120th and Stewart. You know what I mean? So, even though we brothers, we come from, because I'm a little bit older and came off the porch a little bit quicker than he did because of what I did like with my Uncle Rock and a whole bunch of other GDs. I remember the hundreds when the hundreds, goddamn it, used to be like the laughing stock. It was a time when like we was a laughing stock. It wasn't until a started nailing niggas and start hunting for niggas till a said like, wait a minute, hold up. You know what I mean? Yeah. I remember the hundreds folk, a nigga started saying that shit was wild. You know what I'm talking about? And even though we 18 months apart, minus the day, back then, that's damn near a decade when you talking about like coming off the porch, bro.
True.
Definitely.
True.
You know what I mean? Then coupled with how he came off the porch versus when I did, the I was fucking with versus what he did. I remember when I went in, we went in. You know how many motherfuckers used to tell me in the county jail, once I left the Audi home and made it to the county jail at 17, folks, I wish I knew your ass was a short. I would have still killed you, nigga. Watch what the fuck you say next. Cause it sound like you finna say some whole shit. And I'm finna goddamn beat your ass right now. That part. Not trying to be like over-aggressive or anything. But at that time, nigga, watch how you talk to me, boy. Cause it sound like you finna belittle me and I'm finna stab your ass next. You was a hoe then, you still a hoe now. My age don't mean shit. The same like when it came to Shorty. Unfortunately, Shorty got killed when he was 11. You didn't know that at the time, and y'all was still hoes. Shorty still hoes y'all. Shorty was still out here in it.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't have said shit different had you knew. The pipe was still pointed at you. And you know he was gonna blow. The thing that's unfortunate is, as African Americans, a pipe shouldn't have been at Shorty's hand at 11 or 10.
For sure.
But divorce that. When it comes to street code and street law, you wouldn't have did anything different. That's all I'm saying.
Right. So the age ain't had nothing to do with it, basically what you're saying.
Period.
Right. I wanted to get your thoughts on the differences between you and your brother.
Oh, that's a lot.
This might be the first of me hearing this shit. Don't shoot, nigga.
It's yin and yang, huh?
I'm gonna finish this drink with this shit.
He
Night and
drink,
day.
I smoke. Yeah, it's like, see y'all. And it's like, the only way to understand y'all is to know y'all. And me, I'm more laid back, relaxed. I chill. I watch people. Cause I don't know what's around me. It ain't that I'm saying that I'm worried or nothing. It's like, I want to see and know who you really are before I accept you into my circle. You see what I'm saying? And here, Leo. So that says enough.
Yeah.
They the lion, they roar, you know, they do them.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a Pisces, I'm a fish, I'm laid back, me.
Yeah.
But I see and I listen.
So speaking
before you ask the next question, I want to feel that question.
Right. You want to tell us the difference?
Yeah. I want to feel that question because it's a lot about me my little brother don't know.
Okay.
And ironically, doing this interview, I'm going to share some of those things. Okay. So, I've always been a leader. It go with my sign. One thing people don't know about being a leader is, or I would say one thing that they are under the impression of, is that leaders lead from the front. But a true leader can lead from the front, the middle,
or the back.
Or the back.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that.
Right?
I agree with you on that.
So, like I said early in this interview, my brother was BD before me. A lot of who I became in this organization, I followed the blueprint of what I saw my little brother do.
Okay.
Never told him that.
Right.
This is like the first of him hearing that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I hate Pisces. I hate Pisces and I hate fucking Cancer. That's just me. You never know who the fuck you gonna get, who the fuck in front of you. Both of them motherfuckers is goddamn it, you know what I mean, mental. Got a motherfucking wife, that's a Cancer. Love her to death. But they share a lot of the same similarities. But getting back to seeing my younger brother, seeing them then and seeing them now, right? My brother see things in people I would never see. Not gonna name no names. My brother cool with a mother I would never, ever be cool with. Because he's cool with this person, I put my personal ideology to the side. Because I trust him sometimes more than I trust the limited view that I'm able to see. When we talk about kinship, when we talk about community, you can't show growth if you can't show that. And that's all I'm saying on the matter.
Right. That's what's up. Well, regardless of the similarities or differences, it's definitely clear that you are our blood brothers. Same mother, same father. You know what I'm saying?
That nigga don't look like my twin.
Hey, but
Growing up, that's all the we ever heard, we twins. Even though we 18 months apart.
Do we look alike?
Y'all definitely look alike.
And he hate when the motherfuckers tell him that.
Y'all definitely look alike. For sure.
He hate when the motherfuckers say, is y'all twins?
Y'all definitely look alike.
He got me on the butters right now. Y'all see this shit? Give me next year. My shit'll be down here. We got Indian in our blood. He ain't gonna be able to deny it then. All I'm gonna say is
this nigga don't look like me.
Y'all
Not
look
to
alike.
that.
You gotta
We
look
got
up in here.
similarities, but
It's up in here.
It's that unique nose, ain't it? It's that beak.
It's from the eyes to the nose. It's just,
Nigga
you know
crack
that?
jokes we ain't never get.
In the middle of the face.
big as hell.
We got that white
I'm
boy
asking you
nose.
if I be, you know what I mean? Like,
Turn this motherfucker to the side, you would think we was Jews, nigga. You know what I mean?
But nah, so you know, the story made national headlines. You
All
know,
the time.
When first Yummy was in a situation in which he was sent on a mission and he accidentally killed the wrong person, correct?
Ask the next question.
Okay.
But just ask the next one.
Okay. Behind whatever happened, there was some consequences that he had to suffer.
So I'm gonna answer it like this, yo. We talking about two incidences, right? Mm-hmm. For those that are informed, that happened within an hour each. When it comes to the incident on Wentworth surrounding Sammy Say, I answer that yay. The other incident, for this interview, I'm not going to answer.
Okay.
But I will say this. Not what's been reported, nor not what the general population has been led to believe. The rest, I won't elaborate on.
Okay. So when you say Sammy Say, just so I'm keeping, track of exactly what we're talking about, who is Sammy Say?
So, for those that are informed, Sammy Say got shot in the hand.
like the wrist area, some shit, I think.
The wrist area. It was a big gang shooting.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
Okay.
West of Wentworth, east of Wentworth. Sammy Say happened to be one of the victims.
Okay.
The other, we're not going to collaborate on at this particular junction.
Okay. Okay.
And we'll leave the rest, you know what I mean, as a question mark.
For sure. So moving forward, you were 16 years old, you were 14 years old when you all were arrested.
Correct.
Okay. and you all were convicted of, was it first degree murder?
Absolutely.
Okay. 60 years and 45 years?
Correct.
Okay. Which means you all had to, do time and a half, split that in half? That's how much y'all served?
We was under the old law. We was under, so
78.
before 78, you had in Illinois what was known as indeterminate sentence. The court could have sentenced you hypothetically 20 to 400 years. Upon your 10th year and first day, you were eligible to go in front of the parole board. The parole board at the time was what we know to be a traditional parole board. They could grant you parole and or deny you. 78, Illinois law changed. When I say 78, I'm talking about the 90s, y'all. 1978, the law changed. We went from indeterminate sentencing to determinate sentencing. Determinate sentencing meant that if you were convicted and received X amount of years, your sentence was in half. Depending upon the class that you were convicted of, once you completed half of that sentence, you were eligible for parole. Parole was, at that time, mandatory. You didn't have to go in front of a board. 10, if that's your sentence, you did 5. They had, at that time, from 78 all the way up to like 1999, you did half of your sentence. You were able to earn something that was called ESC, or supplemental good time. That's where they gave you either 3 or 6 months good time based upon the class that you were sentenced under. So you had like, in Illinois class, like 1 through 5, then class X. 1 through 5, you got 6 months. Class X, you got the 3 months. So deduct half of what the sentences was, depending on class. 6 months took off or 3 months took off. What you were able to earn when it came to discretionary good time credits, you were able to knock time off that sentence. Okay. That's what we were sentenced under. Okay. That allowed him to do a 45, what should have been 22 and 6 months, because he earned the 3 months earned discretionary sentence credit, allowed him to do 22 and a half.
Okay.
I got a 60-year sentence.
Right.
Once I made it to the Illinois Department of Corrections, due to a whole lot of sweeping changes, those options weren't available for me. It wasn't until we worked with Governor Rauner, Sentence Commission at the time, to where we were able to get laws passed to where Class X convictions were able to re-earn good time, were able to earn a good time. If it wasn't for that, I'd still be in prison right now. Mm-hmm. I don't supposed to got out until December 1st, 2024. I've been home since December 8th, 2020. Rauner and the Sentencing Commission we work with through executive order of Illinois 15, we were able to get legislators like Slaughter to write bills that made it to where Class X offenders that were under 50% was able to re-earn good time. That allowed me to come home December 8th, 2020. Okay. Had not that took place, or we worked with them and that got passed into the law, we won't be having this conversation. I still have a little bit over a year left to do.
So exactly how long did you do?
How long did I do?
Yeah.
Boy, this shit like a badge. 26 years,
26.
3 months, and 8 fucking days.
Damn.
I slept alone. Lost my mama and my daddy to this shit.
You lost your parents while you was locked up?
Both of them. Why this is significant is because even though we got convicted of a crime they know we didn't fucking commit. I don't want to see no other mother shorty and their family go through this shit. I don't. Right now, I work in the field that's called violence, intervention, prevention services. We work with shooters, non-shooters, victims in the community alike. We try to help them so they don't become the next Hardaways. They don't become the next motherfucking Central Park 5. They don't become the next high-proud case out of Chicago where they charge those juveniles with because Shorty wouldn't go steal them no candy, dropping them off the 15th floor in the projects that they no longer stand. They don't become the young 7 and 8-year-olds they charged with the Ryan Harris, goddamn it, rape and murder. Tell me a 7 to 8-year-old that can goddamn it produce semen from their body. The police knew it was semen in that young girl, but they still charged a 7 to 8-year-old with her murder. This is why I personally do the work that I do now, here and across the country. Because we don't need no more of those sad stories, bro. Well, whole communities are affected, whole families are affected, whole children are affected. That's why I do the work that I do now. Do you know what a Rhodes Scholar is? Go.
Like, you were part of basically shit. You was honest with this type shit, wasn't you?
Look, all my colleagues, right hand to God, tenured professors, been tenured professors over 20 years, not a fucking Rhodes Scholar. I could go to Harvard or Oxford right now if I wanted to for free. A scholarship. I've been a Rhodes Scholar since 2015. Got accepted upon my first nomination. I don't boast, I don't brag. Facts are what they are. Anybody that's been in the collegiate field know what a Rhodes Scholar is. Everybody I work with collegiately, from PhDs, from masters, I have neither or either a Rhodes Scholar. I am. I am who I am. Who I'm not, I'll never be. Anybody in this space that's bitty know what the fuck that means. For those that not, that means that I am who the fuck I say I am. Anybody in this space that's a Christian knows that Christ say, I am who I am. For those that can relate to that, we're going to break it down even further. I am the truth, the light, and everything other than. I don't have a colleague right now that's a Rhodes Scholar. I am, though. I don't say that to boast or brag. Never put in any qualifications to show where I should be. They contacted me. I don't even bring that up in spaces, places. Who cares? The people that we deal with don't know what the fuck that means. That's something foreign to them. How many minutes we got before we go back home?
Are we on?
Let's get it.
Let's get it. So you did 26 and a half.
26, 3 months, 8 days.
3 months, 8 days. And your brother did 22 and a half.
22, 3 months.
Now we talking about 2 decades. We talking about a whole lot of time to be
Or
back.
better.
Or better.
Yeah.
We talking about a lot of time to be locked up. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, I'm just trying to get y'all hip to what's going on in our culture. A lot of guys are telling, and they getting out, and they talking about it in interviews, and it's a lot of fans that's on their side saying, "Okay, he did it. He told. Okay, but we still rocking with him." But we understand we from a culture where that type of nonsense is intolerable, correct? Telling on somebody is that's not even an option, correct?
I'm gonna let D answer that, then I'm gonna answer.
It's never an option. And it's like, wrap this shit up and make it simple. Like Tekashi 6ix9ine, you going and doing this and you running your mouth on that thing, and everybody that's supporting them, like, they all is one. They snitches. If you support it, you with it. Whatever reason he had to do what the fuck he did or said what he said, I don't know. I don't give a fuck. That's his business. But how I was raised, like, no. And honestly, it's like, why the fuck is he still breathing? If this how you really feel about this shit, you know what I mean, and you really in it, it's like, he out here glorifying this shit. So, I don't move like that. I don't rock like that. It's whatever the fuck you do, that's your business.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Like, I can see some shit and I don't see shit. I don't hear, see too well fucking way.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's real shit.
Yeah.
Now, this is my brother. Up until now, you would have thought that we was twins and shared the same ideology.
Right.
But we don't. Now, when it comes to who did you mention?
Tekashi 6ix9ine, but it's more. It's not just him. It's more.
No. We gonna focus solely on him
Okay.
for the sake of the conversation.
Okay.
In theory, I support what he's saying. In application, I kind of different. And this is where I different at. And this is hard for me because I'm a Wall Street nigga. You know what I mean? Street code say that we don't snitch. I support that 100%. But I'm just not a street nigga. I'm a father. I'm a grandfather. What the fuck does that mean? Divorce the street CR nigga. Ain't no easy way to say this shit. But I'ma say it. Real facts. you a case in point. As a father, divorced black disciple, divorced the street shit. If I personally don't want to get involved, if I see somebody that's inflicting harm upon a minor as a father, what am I compelled to do? If I ain't gonna pull this bitch out and get down on that nigga, what are my only options? Some of y'all might not agree with me what I'm about to say. In those cases, who's better fit to address that situation? You can answer that on your own. I won't answer it for you. If I'm on 9094, if I'm on the Stevenson or any other highway, and the sign that pops up that says a minor has been abducted, these are their plates. And I see those plates. As a man, what would you recommend I'm supposed to do if I'm riding past and see them plates? Should I take it upon myself, box their ass here, put them over up my shit, and figure that part out, or call the necessary people with whoever the victim that then reached out, then said. We can talk about this street shit as much as we want. Me personally, I'm a grandfather.
Okay.
If one of my grandkids went missing, I want whoever to see my goddamn grandchildren to call in. I'll be lying if I said anything different.
On some real shit, like, I feel you kids innocent in anything. So if a motherfucker did something, you know what I mean, towards children, like, absolutely, like, I wouldn't give a fuck what happened to them. But as far as adults, you know what I mean, like, just being 100, you don't know what the fuck a person did or what somebody going through. You see what I'm saying? And this person could have did something to a child where this person caught up with them and finna do what they gonna do. And here I am trying to be righteous and step into some shit that's not my motherfucking business, and I get nailed too. Well, I also got a granddaughter. You see what I'm saying? I got kids too. I got children, man. I love them. I love my family. My family love me, and me getting in somebody's business can cost me my life. So it's kind of hard, you know what I mean? It's like, you got to weigh shit out, man. Like, this Chicago. You're gonna get mad if you just get in their business, period.
Yeah.
So, you just got to, man, whatever feel righteous to you, you know what I mean? Do what you got to do, but just blatantly telling and saying shit that you know damn well you shouldn't be saying nothing about, like, I ain't rocking with that shit. Yeah. It is what it is.
Piggyback off what he's saying, right? The streets that we came up, this wouldn't even be an issue.
Definitely wouldn't.
Because the way that we moved, we didn't involve women and kids. Mm-hmm. Fast forward to the streets we inherited upon coming out. A lot of women, unfortunately are involved in a lot of this shit. They date niggas, backdoor niggas, and do a lot of shit. Unfortunately, when we watch it at the news, a lot of people that ain't involved in the business don't understand that part. So when they see women and kids, they see an unfortunate population of society that this shit shouldn't affect. I'm not saying in every case it is, but a lot of these young women, and I'm using the term young women loosely because we on the air. If we was not on the air, I would say a lot of these bitches.
For sure.
A lot of these backdoor niggas. A lot of these bitches got with niggas under the simple strength. Goddamn, because who them niggas is, what they think they involved in.
For sure, you ain't lying.
You know what I mean?
Real shit.
You ain't lying.
These bitches want Jordans. These bitches want, you know what I mean? Whatever design it is.
What you
a
want?
lot of these bitches backdoor niggas.
Hey, what Vaughn say? What you want, Jimmy Choo?
Them bitches want Jimmy Choo's, them bitches want red bottom, them bitches want the light. So let's call a spade a spade. A lot of these young niggas losing their life over designer shit. Cause the bitch want to appear to be something that she ain't. I'm not saying that's all up. Not at all. What I'm saying is, unfortunately, it's the majority of a lot of them. And when we see these stories for people that's not like us, for people that do not know our histories, when they hear, they say, damn, he deserved the maximum. But what they don't understand is that a lot of these young girls, unfortunately, are members like a lot of these niggas. They believe in the same ideology. They live by the same ideology. But yet, when you hear it different because it's reported different. I'm not saying that's 100% for everybody that's involved. I'm saying systemically, more times than not, it's a lot to deal with a lot of them that's involved. My speak might sound a little bit slower.
But you ain't tweaking.
Boy, we've been pouring up 1728.
You ain't tweaking now.
But my facts are not nowhere near different.
He's not tweaking at all. I'm following you.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to name any cases in Pacific. For those that are listening, y'all able to goddamn it differentiate the differences. How many of y'all know shorty that go out to the club with a mission that's Pacific to bump a nigga or those that's specific, that's tied to a block or a area that's specific? And so, let's not sugarcoat this shit. Her job is to go out the and to suck any nigga that she feel that's tied to that specific area to gain whatever she can gain, knowledge words to report back to those that she's tattoo Pacific. And the next thing you hear when you watch the news, unaware of, Shorty was caught at whatever block, a scat pulled up on whatever block and got out. Let's not sugarcoat the shit. We gonna call it a spade, let's call it a spade.
And those type of shooters not random.
Right now, we heard about the Kia boys. Ain't no motherfucker drive no Kias to do no hits. Shorty and them pulling up, knocking shit from scats to Hemis to where they can outrun the police.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
They trading scat amongst bodies. We not slow to this shit. Any nigga from any block that's any involved, know this what the movement is. We not saying this shit to put CPD up on it. They already know. They all running CPD. This shit, facts, years prior to this interview. It is what it is. They're not driving anything other than RTs with Hemis in it. Let's be thorough with it. This is what the fuck they doing. This is not a Chicago issue. This shit is happening from New York to LA, from Minnesota, Green Bay. I only said that shit because it rhymes. All the way to goddamn it, the bottom of Houston, the bottom of goddamn it, Florida. This shit has been ongoing for years. They rap about this shit.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I'm in the SRT. Such and such is doing the dash. What's the dash in the SRT? For those that's not on air, say something.
What's the dash?
160, 180, 200, 220.
200.
In Chicago, the fucking goddamn Ford Explorers police version. What's the dash on they shit? 160, 180. They scourging them. I drive all forms. All my forms say 180 plus. Now I'm gonna tell you what I drive. If you pull up on the side of me, I'm gonna knock your ass if you moving wrong. Don't wanna knock you. I'm really with this violence intervention prevention service. I don't wanna die though. I know how you moving. I'm keeping it thorough with you.
Next question.
You move on. Next question. We need to be real with this shit. You pull up on the side of these bitches, drink out the window. We being honest.
You ain't got to be honest.
No. We gonna be honest all the time.
On phone now. We keeping that
I'm
shit.
nervous.
100, but at the same time, it's
I'm nervous. So by me being nervous, that bitch that's in the car is legal. The bitch I'm with is legal. That bitch when it point out the window is legal. But how many of y'all moving illegal? Real shit. If we not gonna be real, how the fuck we gonna be, folks?
I mean, we can be real.
Real
but
shit.
At the same time, you're a grandparent. I'm a grandparent.
Not divorcing, none of
You know
that.
how we move. Everybody make their own safety.
That's what we hope for.
And that's what we
But in
strive
certain moves that we gotta strive for to ensure
prepare
that.
for any and everything, absolutely. Be safe, stay dangerous.
All the time.
Exactly, but still, that concept, we gonna make it home safer. In
I love
anything
you.
we do.
I love me just a little bit more.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Cause I love me a little bit more crazy. Like, that's cool, man, but.
And that's why we
Making it
might
home safer,
agree to disagree. I'ma nail your ass and deal with the consequences later.
I mean,
Cause I don't want my kids nor you to pull up and be like, damn, now see y'all. Cause this how the shit is out here. And while we having this conversation, let's be frank. We talk about that back door.
Right.
A lot of niggas rap about that back door. Nigga, 90% or more of the niggas that come through your front door is the niggas, yeah, goddamn, you consider to be your mother day one niggas. Cause the other niggas don't know where your back door at.
Let me ask you this.
Let's not forget that part.
he just said something right there.
Go ahead. Let him answer that. You can follow up and then I answer.
So do you prefer love or loyalty?
They should be synonymous.
That's what they should be. I said, which one do you prefer?
Loyalty.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people, definition of love is fake
I
love.
love people I don't even with. On some 100 shit. That's some real shit. I love people that I don't even with. But I'm going to always accept loyalty over love.
But when we question loyalty, your definition of loyalty and mine might have a lot of the same similarities. But other people, the definition of loyalty in love would, goddamn it, man, be as far as the East, as far as from the West is, when it comes definition-wise, when it comes to application. Because they grew up under completely different concepts. So, for y'all that's listening, 90% plus, you do the math. When it comes to loyalty, unfortunately, don't know what the loyalty mean, because that's the bitch that'll be through your back door at your safe. It's not your op, bro. It's the niggas that you consider to be day one niggas. This what they're not telling you when they rap the dirt songs, when they rap the goddamn Kodak song, and when they rap all the other songs. This shit that they ain't telling you. It ain't your ops. A lot of y'all niggas ops is ops on social media. Y'all don't even know them niggas. Them niggas ain't never been on your block until you want live and show what your block is. And then, catch me in the streets if I'm wrong. I stand on it, bro. Your block, y'all niggas ain't out there. Y'all say y'all from somewhere, but y'all ain't really from out there, bro. I'm not shooting against none of y'all niggas or none of that shit. I'm just saying in my experience what it is. Half y'all niggas that say y'all from blocks, bitch, we done rolled through y'all shit. Ain't nobody out there but goddamn it, grandmama dear, nigga. What's that bitch that played LBGTK in her movies, Madea? Ain't nobody mother dear out there, bro.
Ain't no big mamas out there, huh?
Y'all niggas ain't out there in the alleys, the block, goddamn 2, 3 blocks east, 2 blocks west, 2 blocks west, 2 blocks north. Y'all ain't out there. And when the nigga catch y'all in public, Y'all not saying that's where the y'all from, bro. Y'all do Facebook. Ain't nobody on Facebook, bro. Y'all niggas do motherfucking TikTok. Y'all not TikToking me, nigga. Let's be real. Now, my brother might disagree with me. I'm just saying, from my experience, when I pull up, nigga, ain't nobody outside. What MO3 say? Y'all scared to come outside. I'm not gonna say y'all scared or not. I'm just saying, when we roll through that bitch, sun up, sun down, y'all not out there. I'm not promoting for y'all to, after this interview, stand out there. You dumb as hell if you do. Cause like y'all will put on, nigga, they gonna circle that bitch. What I'm promoting is anti-non-violence. What I'm promoting is taking advantage of these organizations that's out here that's saying it's gonna help you put on. What I'm promoting is you take you, whatever, and I say only because that's what y'all say. We say woman, queen, whatever title y'all under. Take what I'ma say is that sister, put her and yourself and your siblings somewhere where y'all can promote generational growth. What generational growth means, even when, unfortunately, because a lot of y'all niggas stupid, and when them niggas pull up and drill your dumb ass, drill you, your offspring, which is your direct descendants, which is your kids, they kids, and they kids, are able to promote generational wealth, are able to be in a position to where they never have to be in the position that you was in. So when we talk about love, what love are we talking about? Or are we really talking about love? Because a lot of y'all are up when it comes to what it means to be loved. We got agape love. We got a step that's under that, that's unconditional love. We got the love that you show and promote for the person that you with. We got the love that you show and prefer for the niggas that's your day ones in orders that you step with. All different references of what that love is. What should be unanimous is the love that you show towards each group. That's a whole nother conversation. Yes, sir. Yes, one that we not gonna entertain while we converse. One that I want to put on your mother frontal and your back end and everything in between to consider. I'm talking about that big mama love for y'all that had big mamas. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to let D continue that part of the conversation.
We haven't heard much from you, Derek, because your brother took over the show.
Dang, man.
But your voice is just as valuable as his. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, your brother shared, you know, his opinion, his thoughts, you know what I'm saying, on the whole situation. When we look into what exactly happened, you know, you were the driver, you know what I'm saying? But you was riding for your brother, you know. So we want to know, you know, exactly what are your thoughts and opinions on everything that transpired. You were locked up for 22 plus years.
Man, my old man, one thing he instilled in us was stick together. He don't give a fuck what happened. If he came home with his ass whooped, I better come home with my ass whooped too. If not, it's like, what happened to you? I can't say I left or ran or left him out there. Like, no, we was really raised to stick together, do anything. So it was like, with me, shit, I was more scared of my old man than any thing. Like 100 shit, that nigga hit hard. I ain't met him to this day, hit me harder than my dad.
Can
On
I
some 100
interject?
shit. What's that?
So, I remember a time, an incident that happened in front of the house. You went, Bookie was into it.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I wasn't into it with Bookie. You remember the incident that happened in front of the house?
Yeah, I remember.
Tell them about that incident.
Real shit is like, I was young, I was out there, my name was ringing, I was wild. But one motherfucker that was a little bit crazier than me was Bookie, and we had some boxing gloves, and they was on 100th Street, but we used to put the gloves on, knuckle up, used to bet on it and everything, you know what I mean? Like, we fighters, we soldiers in a sense. But we wanted the gloves, which was our gloves, on the 105th. They wanted them on the 8-ball on the 108th. I ended up with a pair, Bookie ended up with a pair. I brought my pair to the crib, put them in the house. I'm coming outside, everybody pulling up right behind me. And folks asked me one time, like, what them gloves? And before I could fully answer, he bust on me. Like, literally damn near knocked me out. The gate saved me though. But I pulled myself up, him and my brother fighting, and it's just like, my hands and my feet ain't gonna hurt this motherfucker enough for me. So I went in the alley, got some 2x4s and beat the fuck out of him with them 2x4s. And I never saw that nigga, hold on, I never saw B cry. Like, when this motherfucker was crying and running up that hill, I'm like, damn, this shit ain't gonna end well. A few days later, I give my pipe to my homie because he outside all motherfucking night, same gun I went to jail for, my 4.5, but I come out trying to get my gun because I'm outside, I need some money and shit, can't find my man, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go on to 111 and talk to the lady I was talking to at the time, and I get to 108, this nigga had a big ass pole, bro, like, you can hear this motherfucker whistling as he was swinging, and it's like, whoo. So I mean, it ain't gonna hit me, and I'm trying to jump back. It hit me in my ribs, hit me in the top of my head. He fucked me up decent. Yeah. But we was definitely at each other.
Now, this is part of the story that he didn't allude to. We on a nickel. For those that know what the nickel is, no need explanation. We on 105th and Airbrook. They done got into it. They doing what they do. My old man, which is our old man, come on the porch. At the time, Jasper, which is his government name, Lil Bookie, which is his street name, they kind of got the BS on my little brother. My old man say, enough of that dumb shit, fuck him over. I'll fuck Shorty over. Put his face on the goddamn tire of the truck that we had at the time. I'm gonna fuck Shorty over. Not saying that my little brother, not a gangster, not saying that he won't fight. At that point in time, we come from two different standpoints. I got Shorty shit on the tire of my truck. Finna fuck him over. Cause I don't wanna answer to my old man. Shorty begging to plead. I stay here. I don't stay there, boy. Fuck 'em over. Right? You're not upset. You understand how this shit go. Fast forward to the day now. The shit that pains me is, how did we become sellers, wholesalers of this shit, to becoming victims and users of this shit? So, the person whom we talking about, unfortunately, since I've been home, which is 2020, we're doing this interview in 2023, been the victim of the same drugs that he once sold as a user years before I came home. Right? So, the times I done sit down like how we conversing and they conversing with him. Well, how did shit happen? Help me understand. This is before I got into violence intervention prevention services. Because I'm trying to understand, like, how did one of my day one niggas succumb to the shit that we used to sell? Right? So, unfortunately, what I learned inside and coming out is we in the streets have an ethic and a code. People that undergo trauma have a different ethic in the code. And the work that we provide, the voice from both of those have an ethic in the code. With that being said, I can only speak from my eye perspective. I love all my day ones, regardless of where I found them when I came home or other. I'm not gonna say it's government, I'm just gonna say boo. It's some other things that come behind that. The reason why I'm using boo, because it's 10 degrees separate then. Even if you hit it on the head, you gonna know. I love folks. I love folks even when he was battling with my brother. I love my brother a whole lot more. But I still love folks. No separation. When I came home, folks was getting high off the shit we used to sell. Never treating them differently as a member. Why? We talking about a 20-year span. I don't know what life brought that brother.
Absolutely.
But what I do know, before life brought him, the situations that made him who he was at that time. And at that time, he loved this. He loved us. I can't see him anything other than different. When we talk about love, there's several degrees of love.
1,001 degrees.
When we talk about agape, that's the number one love. I love you despite I love you in opposition of. I love you minus the buts. That's a Christian concept. When you talk about this street shit, I love you because you're from. I love you because you have done. And I will continue to love you no less than, other than.
Yeah. That's how the gang life is, right?
Right.
For sure.
So
Loyalty. That's the word we was raised on.
we was raised under the 3 L's. Part of the reason we flag these motherfuckers trades. Love, life, and what?
Loyalty.
For a lot of young cats, that's section off, block off, them concepts you would never know. Not drawing a comparison between those concepts and how you was raised. You have some fundamental aspects of that. Right? And one wrong. Any nigga in here on camera or off camera, am I wrong?
Right.
Right? The difference is the level of depth of what that means to you. And how do we, as elders, make the correlation? Right? Am I wrong? Anybody that feel that I'm wrong, whether on air or off air, weigh in.
I want to ask a question, because we have been talking for a while. And I want to talk to y'all again. Just want to let y'all know before we even wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? It's not the end. Because I can understand that you all still got a lot to unpack. And it's not enough to, you know what I mean, unpack in just 1 hour or, you know what I'm saying, a couple minutes after. But from just doing my little research and seeing the one interview you all did with WGN News some years back, at the end of that interview, it was made apparent that you all would like to reach out to Yummy's family.
Absolutely.
Has that been something you all have been able to accomplish since that last interview?
I'm gonna let D answer that and I'll follow.
I think it was 2006. We was in Stateville in F House with his uncle. What was his name? Blue?
But continue.
But we was in F House with one of his uncles, literally right next door to him. And we spoke, and we got a clear understanding on things. So it was a lot of things that was said during that conversation, that was shocking because I ain't know his family have forgiven us and things like that, you know what I mean? Well, it just is what it is at this point. Ain't no tension, ain't no ill will feelings, no hatred and none of that. It's just all love.
Right. You want to chime in, brother?
So, as it relates to his family, right? The vast majority of them know we didn't knock Shorty off. Even though that's what's been reported for the better part of almost 3 decades. What my brother was alluding to, one of his skin folks happens to be a triplet. One of the person that's a member of the triplet happens to be Siobhan Dean murder. murder. Let's make sure we understand that.
Siobhan Dean's mother.
Which happens to be one of the murders that he was accused of doing. Right? So, prior to this interview between me and you, for those that's not seeing this part of the camera of DJUTV is, I wanted to go on to discuss on air that part, but because I feel that we had a space, he got, unfortunately, charged with something he was unable to physically be charged with. Draw whatever conclusions you want from that.
I'm picking up what you put down.
Fast forward. The only reason I personally agreed to do this interview is because years prior to my release, again in 2020, was to set the record straight. As we sit here now, I can't say if this is the correct platform to do such. But what I will say is 100% of what you've been led to accept as true is 100% negative on what that truth is. Now I know a lot of y'all will look at what I'm saying now. We wind back, fast forward. I encourage you to do. Truth centers should do their due diligence. But I will say this, before I pass the mic back to our narrator, over 90% of what you heard to believe is so far and remotely from what the truth actually is. And I pass.
I understand that for sure. And I can see that, you know. I heard you say media is the enemy, or you look at media as the enemy. Something you said, you know, in the WGN interview. And I know just from being in the media that words can get twisted and narrations can be misconstrued. And the media can present whatever they want to present. You know what I'm saying? And once the media present it and the people feed into the information, that's what they know. You know what I'm saying? That's what they heard, and that's what they go off of, you know? And so that's what makes these type of conversations important. Because even though we, being on DJUTV, is a part of the media, we like to break it down a little different. You know what I'm saying? We like to get the real, the raw, uncut truth of what happened. They say it's 3 sides to every story. You know what I'm saying? So I commend you, gentlemen, you know, just for what you shared thus far. You know what I mean? I know it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all done did a lot of time. It's a lot of trauma that come behind that. You feel me? I'm sure it's a lot of nightmares that come behind, you know, just that one night. You feel me? Out of all the nights you've lived in your life, that one night, it ring in your memory, it ring in your mind. You know what I'm saying? So trust me, even though I didn't do the time, I understand to a certain degree, you know, what you all have been through. You know what I'm saying? So I'm honored just to talk to y'all, just to give y'all the space to get it off your chest. You know what I'm saying? And relieve, you know, some frustrations. You feel me? So it's a blessing, man. Like I said, this story that you all have, it is very valuable. You know what I'm saying? And it's to be told because you all have already, you know, did the time for it. But we gonna wrap it up. We ain't gonna hold too long, you know. Derek, if you could just leave us real quick a message for the youth, you know, behind all that you've been through.
Man, I started off 14, going through juvenile, Audi Home, St. Charles, Little Joliet to the adult penitentiary. It's like, it's a lot of love in these streets. And on some seriously shit, like, I understand the youth because the same love you want to get from your household, you're getting out here in these streets.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's a lot of like rotten people, man, like fucked up niggas in these streets that's not teaching and leading the right way. And once these young guys like get a sense of that, like, man, you've been lying to me all this time and pretty much taking advantage of me, that builds up resentment and hate, you know what I mean? Well, motherfucker, like, I ain't finna let you do me like that. But at the same time, like, life is real. The time I did, that was a long motherfucking time. That's 22 years, 3 months. That's a long, I don't even live that long.
For sure.
I did that shit in the penitentiary. And that's a different law. Now they give them motherfuckers football numbers. So even if you is 15, they give your ass 70 years, you 85 coming home. Penitentiary real. Like, I thought them walls and fences with barbed wires was put up to keep motherfuckers in. They put that shit up to keep motherfuckers out, and we as young black Americans keep throwing rocks at these motherfuckers. Let me in, let me in, let me in. Then once you in here and you a part of it, it's like, let me out. And nowadays, people's not coming home. And that's a whole different environment in there. So to the youth, man, it's like, it's fucked up that they got to carry guns and be protectors of themselves or from where they come from or where they live, you know what I mean? And they friends, but prison real, man. That shit ain't no joke. That shit real. Real. I done lost loved ones. I done lost watching my kids grow up. You see what I'm saying? Like, I got 3 children now and a grandchild. And it's like, I'm not finna let nobody take me away from that. I don't want no smoke with nobody, you know what I mean? Like, y'all do what y'all do, that's y'all business. I'ma move how I move and do what I do. But at the end of the day, it's like I was saying earlier, my motto, everyone needs to make it home safe. We can go out, we can do us, we can have a little good time, we can get some money, like, make it home safe. And at the end of the day, it's like on some 100 shit, I done sat in these motherfucking cells and had all type of thoughts run through my mind. The shit that people out here killing for really ain't even worth it. Like Dad said, if you embarrassed or something like that shit wear off, something else gonna happen, they ain't thinking about you. But I'm not finna spend the rest of my years in jail over no dumb shit. If you're not a threat to me, I apologize about it. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to make it home safety, that's it. And if I feel a person gonna stop me from getting to my destination, then it's a problem. But jail real, man. I ain't trying to go back to that, and I wouldn't wish that on nobody, especially young black America. Definitely wouldn't. But that's me. I was once them. I know how they feel. I know how they move. You know what I mean? It's like I connect with them and I understand. Do what you got to do to survive, but at the same time, like, really ask yourself, is this really worth it? Because the same thing you finna lose, you're gonna take from somebody else. So I'll leave with that message, man.
Sure. And that's a powerful message, just like every other word that's been said in this interview thus far. Like I said, y'all's story is a little bit too much unpacked to just, limit to one interview. You know what I'm saying? So Lord willing, we'll be able to talk again. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I've enjoyed the hours we spent thus far, and I look forward to the hours we spend in the future. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
DJUTV, Craig Hardaway, Derek Hardaway. This a classic. Wake them up and let them know it's a classic. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to Word C Production.
Yeah.
Gang.
Wow.
DJ, you go crazy.